Here on Pillow Talk with Dr. Zackarina, we're all about having open, honest, and stigma-free conversations about sex, partying, and taking care of ourselves. And that's exactly why we love Denver Element. For over 15 years, Denver Element, a program of Mile High Behavioral Healthcare, has been a lifeline for Colorado's LGBTQIA+ and Two-Spirit community, offering mental and behavioral health support, community groups, and resources for folks living with HIV. And let's talk about one of their most important and accessible services, free HIV and STI testing. Denver Element is the only place in all of Colorado where you can get same-day results for HIV, hepatitis C, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea, with no ID or insurance required. No judgment, no barriers, just knowledge and empowerment. Plus, Denver Element makes finding community easy with game nights, support groups, and even a queer Dungeons & Dragons group, because staying healthy doesn't mean giving up fun. So whether you're looking for resources, support, or just a place to connect, head to denverelement.org and take control of your health, because nothing is sexier than knowing your status. Welcome back to Pillow Talk, your intimate drag podcast where we talk all things sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But instead of rock and roll, it's more like a top 40s pop. And instead of a top 40s pop, today it's more like a white noise. And that isn't in reference to just me talking. That is in reference to me listening to white noise every night before I go to bed or while I sleep, and never with people over. Because today's a little bit of a different episode. We'll get to it, but I'm alone on my pink couch, bed, whatever thing you want to call it. But we'll get to that later. First and foremost, we have a huge thank you to Denver Element. This entire show is brought to you by Denver Element, serving our LGBTQ plus community in Colorado for over 15 years. Woohoo! Doing things like mental health and behavioral health services, doing things like mental health and behavioral health services, doing HIV testing, STI testing, free community groups. They're amazing. Check them out at denverelement.org. And while you're online, check out Pillow Talk online. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. You can follow us along at Pillow Talk Dr. Z. That's Pillow Talk DRZ on all the social media. So pour up your nightcap, snuggle up under the covers, get ready for some Pillow Talk with me, Dr. Zackarina, and nobody else. I'm alone in my bed because sometimes you just need to get back into your own bed alone. I've had a lot of people come and go on this couch, this bed, this sofa, again, whatever you want to call it, over the past several episodes. We've had a really great first season of Pillow Talk, and I'm very, very proud of everything that we've accomplished. And by we, not only do I mean myself, all of our guests and Dude IDK Studios for putting on everything, hosting us, helping do all of the editing, but also all of our listeners out there. I see you, each and every one of you. I have your IP addresses, your social security numbers, everything that I could need. But I'm just really grateful because it's been an amazing first season. So this is like giving the recap episode. It's very much the kind of just like, let's recenter ourselves after all the fun guests and prepare for some more amazing fun guests. So I'm going to just have a little bit of alone time, a little bit of me time. Sometimes we got to bring it solo. Like Destiny's Child, Beyonce, we got to, go solo in that career every now and then. And that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to do kind of similar to what I did that first episode, which is do a little pillow confession, as we always do, and then do some fun little segments, some things that I've been wanting to get off of my double D chest. So getting right into it with the pillow confession. So I want to do a pillow confession that hasn't come up yet. I said on the last episode with Sam the Tattoo Puppy, watch it if you haven't, that I have gone through a lot of my really big pillow confession stories, like my most very life-defining ones. But now I'm getting more into the niche ones, the ones where I forgot about them until they came in me in the shower when I was like, oh my God, and I thought I'd forgotten about it. So this one that I want to start out with is the time I had my first cruising experience. For those listeners at home who don't know what cruising is an act of gay hookup culture where you are not necessarily meeting somebody online or going on a date. You're finding people in public spaces or spaces where there might not be sex originally involved or planned for, but then you find each other. You lock eyes across the room, but instead of sparkling at each other, you might like grab your crotch or like something else might happen. So cruising is very much something that exists on like sniffies, for example. So bathroom stalls, things like that. Very cruising, hookup, fast-paced, anonymous, all that culture. So picture it. Sicily, 2021, Raleigh, North Carolina. I am 21. I go out downtown to the bar for the first time ever. I am not that drunk because I didn't drink that much, but I'm going out. It's a crazy first birthday. I was a lockdown baby a little bit of during COVID. That was when it was like I turned 21 during COVID. And so afterwards, once the bars finally started opening, I went out and was like, okay, time to celebrate my 21st. First time night on the town. And the town in question was, for the Raleigh girls, Glenwood. Like, it was not anything crazy. It's actually the worst place on earth. We would always say that like Glenwood is the place where you go and you spend the entire night talking about how much you want to leave. So we get there. I see my ex for the first time and I spiral. I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy. I think I had talked about this a little bit before of just spiraling, seeing my ex. I go home and I love a cry in a car situation. I love it. There's just something so intimate about it. There's something so romantic about it. And so I go and sit in my car in a parking lot in the Wells Fargo parking lot next to my apartment. Again, Raleigh people, you're getting a full image. Now you might know exactly where I lived. I'm sitting in the Wells Fargo. It's 4 a.m. at this point because I was just spiraling so hard that I was just staying up and crying and scrolling on Instagram and Grindr and all the things. Anyways, I'm in the car crying, listening to ABBA, maybe. I look out my window and there's a man. And I don't really see what's going on at first until I wipe my tears. I go and look a little bit closer. And I see that that man has his dick outside of his pants and he is stroking. And he kind of looks at me, looks at his dick and kind of like gestures of like, huh? To which I, crying, in my car go, no, thank you. And then he walked away, put his dick back in his pants and walked away. And that was my first experience with cruising. And it was definitely not the best in the world. Hilarious now looking back of me crying in my car and me saying no thank you. I think is very iconic. So that was my first experience with cruising. I have cruised a lot more since, not in the traditional sense of cruising, but basically just using sniffies. So that's my pillow confession. I was like, I'm not sure if this would ever come up on another episode. Maybe it will eventually, or maybe it would have, but I wanted to get that off my chest. So now I feel like more of a free man. Anyways, I have other bits and things that I want to get through for this episode. So you might remember it, but a couple episodes ago, I had Fupa on. Fupa is an insane human, parentheses positive. I love her. She is the kookiest, craziest girl that I've ever met, truly. And so while we were talking, we had a big conversation about fan fiction. And she actually wrote her own fan fiction. If you don't remember it, she wrote about the Breakfast Club, which consists of a couple Denver girls. And she wrote a kind of heated little interaction, a little steamy interaction between Banana Splits and Raquel Seychelle. And from that conversation, we kept spiraling into other conversations. But one of the things that I really wanted to do was I wanted to do a spoken word fan fiction reading that I did the first episode because I love fan fiction. It's so funny. It's so bad. It's so cringy. It makes me uncomfortable in the best ways possible. And so as I'm comfy here in my robe, if you can't see, then you can make sure that you're checking out the video version of these. You can watch it on Spotify, but I'm chilling in a robe. It's very much a solo show. I'm comfy today. And I'm going to read out a lot more fan fiction that I had printed out. These are also, I wish I wrote these. These I transcribed like a long time ago, so I do not actually remember them at all. So we're going to read through them. There's one that's just like a normal smut book that I want to read through, but then I have a classic that we'll get to next. So the first one is Ryan Rule by Sadie Kincaid. Okay. The context is as follows. What the hell? I'm reading ahead and I'm like, what the fuck did I put down on this card? When the dangerous Irish mafia mob boss walks in on you in a sandwich with his younger brothers, immediately I'm turned off. I talked about it on an episode. Again, this very much is a recap episode. I talked about it with Patty. If you didn't catch our episode, Petty Patty, go back and listen to it because we talk a lot about twins and how I think twins are just like unnatural to the world. I don't like it. It scares me. If you're a twin, comment down below. Are you weird? No. Twin stuff specifically in a sexual context makes me unwell. I don't like it. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to see any human I'm related to in a sexual context. I'm like, that's no. So immediately I'm scared that the Irish mafia mob boss, which can something be a mafia and a mob? I don't know. That feels incorrect. And the younger brothers. So we're going to go right into it. If you want to exit out of the podcast, do so now or hold your breath, I guess. This will be cold, baby, he says as he squeezes lube on your ass. Okay, so this is a bit of a your name situation. Your name fanfiction means that it's like kind of in second person. So it's the lube is on my ass right now, but necessary. I'll go slow. I won't hurt you. The twin pushes deeper inside and the burning stretch is pleasurable too. Hate that they are just saying twin. Fuck, one twin hisses. She's too fucking tight. Whew. I'm getting hot and steamy. The other twin releases me from his grip and cups my face in his hands and kisses me. Damn, baby, your ass is so fucking hot. He grinds out as he starts to move his hips. Honestly, not crazy so far. It's the wild thing is the fact that it's both twins, but this writing isn't awful. I've read far worse, and we're going to read far worse. Oh. So I'm going to regret that I just said that because then it goes, you should feel her pussy. Now, do you want to move or do you want us to? Okay. Like, I guess. You feel so fucking good, Red. One twin breathes in my ear. You're fucking perfect, baby, his twin says. Ah! I don't like that. I don't like that. I turn my head and gasp as I realize the two other brothers, Jesus Christ, how many fucking brothers are there? Are standing there, staring at the three of us. Oh God, you whisper. They're back early. I'm not stopping, Rad. Oh God. I'm still looking at the two brothers and the heat flushes my cheeks as they watch us. One brother shakes his head and storms down the hallway away from us. The correct answer, whichever brother that is, the third of four, did the correct thing of escaping. And one brother takes a seat and continues watching us. No. Ryan Rule by Sadie Kincaid. I'm not in it. I wanted to be a part of this. I wanted to get into it. Thank God I only have one panel of it. But girl, I can't do that. I'm always going to support the dolls. I'm going to tip my smut authors $1, but I can't do that for her. Sorry, baby. I'm going to move along to what I am incredibly excited for. That was our appetizer. That was our mozzarella sticks before this real deal. So AO3, Archive of Our Own. It is a famous website that existed on the website and still exists to this day. The point of it was basically an archive, a modern day Library of Alexandria dedicated to fan fiction. The whole purpose was to make sure that we always had the archives of fan fictions. People wrote hundreds, thousands of pages of fan fiction that other people would be able to read and access for free. We love it. We love free media. Hey, not to be like accelerated reader, but whatever you're doing to read, at least you're reading. At least you're not on TikTok. Even if you're reading the most smuttiest smut, sex porn, whatever kind of story, erotica, I love it. Get into it. Read more. We as a society need to read more. But there's this really infamous story. And if you've never heard of this story, you're lucky. But also, you're about to learn today, bitch. It's called My Immortal. And the author is completely unknown. It is an anonymous story that has been re-uploaded to continue the legacy, because this came out probably like late 2000s kind of thing, like that 2008 to 2012 range. It was very much one of the pinnacle, one of the cornerstones of the modern day, what then shaped Wattpad, but the modern day fan fiction that was the classic, like, I threw my hair in a messy bun and I run downstairs and, you know, I'm going to the concert and I'm reading a book and Harry Styles pulls me out of the crowd, right? Like, we know that modern day version. This bitch was the OG. She was walking so Harry Styles fanfic turned Anne Hathaway movie could run. My Immortal by Anonymous, known as one of the worst fanfictions ever written. It's a Harry Potter fanfiction. And I'm going to read it, and I'm going to try to read it. They uploaded it twice. One is in its original writing, which is the worst writing you've ever seen in your life. And the second one is a slightly more modified writing to make it understandable and better written. This is written by somebody who 100% has never had sex before, 100% never had a romantic relationship before, was a child. And it shows in the writing style because it's so bad. So here we go. We're about to go back on this adventure together. If you know this fan fiction, girl, I'm so sorry. But if you don't, stay listening. If you're still in line for Pillow Talk, stay in line because it's so important. It's important for our culture. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. Immediately loving that dementia is a middle name. It's kind of, this is giving a drag name, but I really love the name Dementia being in there. And I would absolutely rename myself to be Dr. Zackarina Jenny-hoe in a heartbeat. And I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. With purple streaks and red tips that match my reaches my mid back. Good Lord. And icy blue eyes like limpid tears. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white. I have pale white skin. I'm also a witch. And I go to magic school called Hogwarts. Sorry, I have to read it in that style because that's exactly the type of person that this is. Where I'm in my 7th year. I'm 17. I'm a goth, in case you couldn't tell. And I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic and I buy all my clothes from there. Love that in this fan fiction. Hogwarts exists, yes, but so does Hot Topic still. Nobody could pull that away from people. For example, today I was wearing, all right, let's see what she was wearing. I was wearing a black corset with matching lace around it and a black leather miniskirt, pink fishnets, and black combat boots. Honestly, I don't hate that look. I was wearing black lipstick, white foundation, black eyeliner, and red eyeshadow. Girl, I'm at an alt drag show. Period. I was walking outside Hogwarts. It was snowing and raining, so there was no sun, which I was very happy about because she's a vampire. A lot of preps stared at me. I put my middle finger to them. Hey, Ebony, shouted a voice. I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked. Nothing, he said shyly. And then I heard my friends call me and I had to go away. This is just turning into me reading an audiobook, and I love that. Should I read fanfiction audiobooks? I don't know. We're going to move ahead because I want to get really into the bad writing, as if it wasn't already bad. Draco, I shouted. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car. Okay, so they're in a flying car. They stopped the flying car and walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously. What the fucking hell? What the fucking hell? I asked angrily. Ebony, he asked. What? I snapped. Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes. Parentheses, he was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness. And then suddenly, I didn't feel mad anymore. I love bitches in this fanfiction era loved a colored contact. They loved like a different color eye. They loved that one thing where it's like people with purple eyes have a genetic mutation that makes them never have a period, but they're always fertile, and they never grow body hair, but they grow hair on their head. It was totally fake, obviously, but that did numbers on Tumblr back in the day. And then back to the story. And then suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately. That was misspelt wrong. Draco climbed on top of me, and we started to make out keenly against a tree. Love to know what making out keenly means. I have to assume that she just means like eager and that, or just excited, and that she just hit thesaurus.com and said YOLO. He took off my top. Nope. He took of my top is the correct sentence structure. He took of my top, and I took of his clothes. I even took of my bra. Then he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and we did it for the first time. Oh, 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 I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. We started to kiss everywhere, and my pale body became all warm. And then, what the hell are you doing, motherfuckers? It was Dumbledore. I love this. I love that Dumbledore is catching them in the Forbidden Forest or something and has to stop them. I'm going to stop reading because I'm scared of what else I pulled out from this, because there's Professor McGonagall is in the next section. Professor Snape is, and there's more, but that's the fan fiction that I really wanted to read with Fupa, because I wanted to hear her do a fully spoken word for it. But I, more than anything, just wanted our community, all of my listeners, to hear it, because it's important. It's important to our culture. It's important to remember where we came from. And we came from Wattpad. And those who came from Wattpad came from an archive of our own. And that's what we're here for. So that is my fanfiction spoken word for the day. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's just as fun for me as it is for you all, I hope. I love it. If you have fanfiction, send it to me. If it's fan written, if it's self-made, if it's just your OG or something you go to all the time, please send it my way. I love fanfiction. I love reading all that stupid shit. I read all of Red, White, and Royal Blue in one day one time. Hated it. Terrible book, great movie. They're hot. What can I say? I'm easy. And I still gave it a 3 on Goodreads because I was like, girl, I read it all in one day. Couldn't put the book down. That bitch had something, right? So any type of cheesy stuff I will read. Next thing I do want to get to, though, I've talked a little bit about my personal side of life through my pillow confession. We've done some silly fan fiction reading. Hopefully nobody has a boner right now. I want to get back into my helping people era. I am a Miss Congeniality. No, actually I am, for like a Miss Gay America prelim, which means pity award. And I want to help people. I want to help you all live a better life because I am Jesus reincarnated. I am probably God, if we're being honest. I live a perfect life and I've never done anything wrong. So I have a couple of Dear Dr. Z questions. Dear Dr. Z is our advice column here. So if you ever have a question, send it in and we will get it so me and my guests can help try to figure out and solve your problems. Okay, so I have a couple that I'll talk through and we'll give some advice. Maybe it's silly, maybe it's funny, maybe it's real. But let's get into it, girls. Dear Dr. Z, I started making amateur content online, and while I love expressing myself sexually, I'm noticing that I now have a hard time being intimate without thinking about how I look on camera. It's like I'm mentally filming even when I'm not. How do I get back to just feeling present in my own body from always performing? This is a great opportunity for whoever's listening to go back and listen to the video that I had with the beautiful OnlyFans creator G a couple of weeks ago, because we talked a lot about body image. We talked a lot about how something like doing porn, something like doing OnlyFans, taking videos of yourself, pictures of yourself, can be just as harmful or just as amazing and beneficial to you, right? A lot of people can get really insecure about their body when doing that, and a lot of people can find some of that confidence through the venture. And so I think in this situation, first I think about myself, right? Shocker, a drag queen thinks about herself. I think about myself, and I am a very self-conscious person. I do very much think about how I look a lot of the time, especially in like a sexual setting, because I want it to be hot. I want to have the picture perfect porn. That's not going to happen. But for you, as you know, this person, you might have picture perfect porn. You might want to create that, but picture perfect porn is a lot of stops and goes and cameras and things like that. And so remembering that sex is supposed to be kind of weird. I think it was Kate on our like third episode. I'm really doing a recap here. Like I'm recapping all of the episodes that we've done. This is kind of fierce. It was Kate who said sex is kind of weird. Sex is kind of like awkward. It's kind of lame on our beautiful sex positive podcast, but it is. And that's the thing, is it's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be a little awkward. It's supposed to be a little weird. Your body is supposed to make some weird sounds and look a little strange in some positions, because ideally with sex, we want to be focusing on our partner or ourselves, right? And less on the situation of it all. So going back, I think about myself, if I was starting to get self-conscious during sex, thinking about like how this would look from another person's perspective, from a camera perspective, I think that's my sign to take a step back and like find myself, but like re-fall in love with myself, of have a little bit more solo time, get comfortable with myself again, have some moments to just like appreciate my body for what it's worth and like where it's at, and not try to be something that it's not, and not trying to go from an angle that I think is going to be better, but just accepting and being where I am and being present with that. I found that when I feel more at peace with my body, when I have had more time with it, then I feel better with adding in other people to the mix. There was this one comedian I had watched, couldn't tell you their name, but they had talked about like life as like a jigsaw. And when you try to force pieces into an incomplete jigsaw, it's a lot harder. Versus when you're trying to bring somebody in and that story of your life, that puzzle of your life is a lot more put together, it's easier to put that final piece in, or that other piece in. And so kind of the love yourself before you love somebody else, but truly and physically love yourself a little bit more, and see if that can help bring you a little bit more comfort, and try to enjoy that intimacy in other times, because sex is fun. Love it. Love sex, love pink, love sex. And so have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have fun with it. So find that fun with yourself first before you bring back in people, especially if you are having this relationship that also it's a form of work. It's really important to define what that means and looks like to you, and then figure out ways to help support yourself and create those boundaries, and also create a relationship that can be separated between the two. So that's my answer. Oh my God, I'm kind of good at this. No, I've got another one. Dear Dr. Z, this is a lot of porn stuff. Dear Dr. Z, every time I try to watch porn, I end up spending 45 minutes just searching for the right video. Like I'm shopping for a couch, not having a horny little moment. Is there something wrong with me, or has porn just completely fried my brain's ability to get off on anything less than a cinematic masterpiece? From Buffering Babe. I actually just talked about this in my last episode with Sam the Tattoo Puppy, where we were talking about how porn really is this whole cinematic masterpiece now. It's crazy shots, it's full-on costumes and settings and things like that. And so there's nothing wrong with you. Porn has fried a lot of our brains, and that's a fact. There are lots of studies. Porn isn't the best thing in the world for us. I know, and this is coming from somebody that does enjoy their one-on-one time, their little personal time, and their porn from both a campy perspective and a real perspective. But porn has fried our brains, and there are lots of studies out there about how it does have effects on our body image. It has effects on how we are intimate with partners, about how it affects our, libido and things like that. So one, that's not super, super absurd. I think that I also sometimes get into the struggle of I want to just get her done, but I can't because I haven't found what I'm enjoying or what I want to watch. So I have gotten into, here's a tangible thing. I have an alt, don't post anything, but it's my curated alt. I use it to curate a timeline on Twitter, not X, Twitter, to have things that I would probably enjoy and prefer. And then I can also retweet them and have them saved for me to go back through later. So that's like one thing of, then you have some old reliables that you can lean back on. I think also taking a bit of maybe a break from porn so that when you come back into it, there is a little bit more excitement and there is a little bit more, of wanting to engage with it, that could be really nice. To be able to not like rewire your brain or anything, but just like give yourself a little bit of a tea break, like a tolerance break for a second, and then coming back in. But I don't think you're crazy. I don't think anything's wrong with you. I think that it's kind of a normal thing right now because of the way that porn is structured and the way that the porn industry works off of just like kind of like the Las Vegas casino model of just like big bright things and things that will keep you coming back, and ads, and click on this video and do this thing, and then it's like, whoa, it's in your face, literally and figuratively. And that stuff is made for a consumer to be hooked on it. It's made for somebody to like fall into a feedback loop and cycle with the videos and the porn and that whole sphere of the world, so that you stay kind of stuck in it. Because if you watch 45 videos, or 45 minutes worth of videos, I bet that's a lot of ad revenue those people are getting, And so I bet it is great to probably have some weirdly, not messed up, but like weirdly shaped porn or things that are like difficult for you to like fully get into. I think also OnlyFans can be a good option if the overproduction of it is what's throwing you off. I love seeing real people be real people. It makes me feel a little bit more human. And I think that also with OnlyFans, I know that I'm supporting small independent artists, supporting local artists. And that makes me feel a little bit better too, and not giving my money to like big companies and stuff like that. So lots of different options. You can take a little break. You can curate your own feed. You could follow some of your favorite creators and, throw a little coin their way to get more of those like homemade, those more real and intimate videos as an option. So maybe that can help bring down that time, so that it's not like you're surfing the web trying to find something, but really able to find something that works and then that you can connect with. I've got another one. We might, depending on how this goes, end here. Dear Dr. Z, I love watching porn. Oh my God. There are a lot of porn ones. I love watching porn, but lately I've started comparing myself to the people I see on screen. Ooh, if I had $1. Their bodies, their stamina, even how loud they are in bed. I know it's not real, but I can't help but feeling like I'm failing at sex in real life because I'm not performing like they are. How do I reset my brain around this? Oh my gosh. We kind of just answered this a little bit in the last one, so I won't spend too much time on it. But I think it sounds like you're already remembering like porn is not real. Girl, it is not real. It's about as real as I am a woman, right? Not real. So porn is made over a series of hours. It's not just a 30-minute straight shot. There's pauses, there's breaks, there's messes, there's issues, there's people that have to take breaks, right? And be like, I'm not having fun, or this isn't comfortable. And so if you're having that happen in the bedroom, that's okay, right? The stamina, things like that, it is faked, right? In the same way that like reality TV can be faked, in the same way that so many things are faked in our life to make it look like it. Bitch, my Instagram feed is faked. It makes me look like I am living the life on the edge. I'm living my best life, all the things. No, I am not. I'm living a normal life like probably everybody else, minus the cross-dressing. And so remembering that everything's fake is always important. I think, again, this is where I really like to go back towards the independent creators, the like Twitter people, the people with OnlyFans, where I'm like, this is a real person. I'm not looking at somebody with 0% body fat. I'm not looking at somebody that does porn for these studios and puts out for 2 hours. I'm like, also, bitch, that's not fun. Talked about it with Patty. I'm like, girl, I'm not trying to put out for more than like 30 minutes of penetrative sex. Like, I'm like, I got place to go, people to see. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate and enjoy when I get to see real people be real people. I'm like, that's where I feel related to. I'm like, okay, this is like real. My experiences are valid in the bedroom because other people are having them. It's not having sex with a 0% body fat. I will never have 0% body fat. I love food. And all my sisters watching, trying to say a little jab under their breath. I know I like food, and that's okay. And if you like food, that's cool too. It's okay. You don't have to have the porn body. You don't have to have the porn stamina. Most likely they don't either, right? It's in the same way that models will have to do lots of working out or lots of specific diet things for one shoot or things like that. Like most people, that's not how they look most of the time. So find those small porn artists. They're the best. They're the ones that I appreciate. Again, not only to enjoy that content, but also to just fully not feel like Jonah and the motherfucking whale. Girl, I'm like, I love it when I get to feel like, oh, cool, I'm not disgusting because I don't have 0% body fat. Perfect. I love it. That's our Dear Dr. Z questions. Oh my gosh, a lot of porn. Hey, if you have other porn questions, send them my way. And if you don't, send them my way too. Okay? Any questions? But that gets to the end of our show. I know this was a little shorter episode, a little quicker. Again, I just kind of wanted to recap. I want to just have a little one-on-one, a little solo time with y'all, because I've shared you all, my audience, with a lot of different people. You've met a lot of amazing Denver and Colorado local people. Make sure that you're going back through and following everybody, because the guests that we've had are truly some of not only my best friends, but really amazing people in our local communities and people that are worth listening to, continuing to follow their journey, their stories, things like that. It's been really exciting, and I'm excited to see this show continue. I have no intentions to stop because I'm stubborn. So we're going to continue it until somebody kills me or something bad happens. So who knows what it could be first, but I'm hopeful for more. So while on the topic of that, if you have certain suggestions, send them my way. If there's people that you want, if there's certain vibes you want, if there's certain topics or things that you want to hear about, let me know them and I'll try to incorporate them in. I want this to be a fun conversation. I always say that this podcast isn't like your man on the street, gay son or thought daughter podcast. Like, I'm not trying to ask my guests like, though it's the biggest dick you've taken. I mean, if that comes up in convo, of course we're going to talk about it. But also, I want there to be serious conversations. I want us to have learning moments. I want this to be an opportunity for guests to be a little bit more intimate, hence why it's an intimate drag podcast, with not only me, but all of the audience. I think there's a lot of power in sharing stories, not to get cheesy, but I think it's important, from being able to hear that other people are experiencing similar things to you, as well as just being like, oh, cool, that's a normal thing, you know, being able to hear about resources, hear about, ooh, that was a story that somebody did that wasn't necessarily the best option for them. And now I'm going to learn from their mistakes and not do that same thing. So there's a lot that can come from these conversations. So hopefully you all are getting something out of it. Maybe a little bit of entertainment, maybe a little bit of learning, hopefully a little bit of both. But I'm going to continue this show for as long as I can. And again, I'm very grateful for all of your support. It means the world to me. Truly, truly. Everybody that listens, whether I know you personally or I've never met you, I appreciate each one of you. You're supporting local drag. You're supporting, local queer, talent is a bit of a stretch, but it's local, and that's all that matters, right? And that's what we're here for. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Now that we've gotten to the end of our episode, everybody say, oh, no more fan fiction yet. One day I'm going to figure out how we can watch my bad vertical film movies all together, because I want to do that. I want my guests and I to watch them and live react to them because they're so good. I have a lot of other ideas for things, but we'll keep having fan fiction. We'll keep having silly games, silly bits, and really cool questions coming up. Make sure that you're following us online at Pillow Talk Dr. Z. You can also follow me personally at Dr. Zackarina. That's dr.zack. It should hopefully fill in the rest. But online, Pillow Talk DRZ. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok, LinkedIn, Squarespace, wherever else. Who knows? Probably. We are brought to you by Denver Element for this first season. Again, so appreciative of Denver Element for taking the risk on us and putting a chance on some crazy drag queen. We appreciate it, and we appreciate everything that the Element crew is doing in our community. HIV and STI testing, mental health services, community events, you name it, they're doing it. So check out denverelement.org and check out Dude IDK Studios. It's beautiful here. It is truly... This experience has been so painless, so amazing. It has made my life easier. The crew here are some of the most professional and most talented people I have ever met. So make sure you check them out if you have podcasting needs. And if you want to just come and hang out at the studio and watch some shows, check out their Instagram and their online calendar, because they have really great comics coming through and really cool shows that are always happening here. So on behalf of the entire crew and the cast of one, casting couch. Wait, that's crazy. I never made a casting couch joke. My name is Dr. Zackarina Jenny-hoe. Good night and big balls. Thank you.